He has become a figurehead for what happens to bad people. But it's totally ludicrous. It doesn't add up, the amount of years that he's got for what he's done.
You know, if you're serving 30 odd years, you've got to have something to sustain you. And if you know that people outside are fascinated by you, if you've had a film made about you, if people have written books about you, you're a somebody. And I think this is at the heart of the whole thing about the Krays. They loved publicity. They wanted to be known as celebrities.
I feel very strongly that Reggie's just become trapped by this public image. It's almost as though he's been cast in stone. He's a photograph from the 60s, the gangster.
Reg was in a state, he knew that they were going to be arrested very soon. He was drinking a hell of a lot at the time. He was in a state. And he did suddenly say to me, I want to get away, I want to get out of this. And I kid you not, I said, one place you really could go to is East Timor. There was no extradition treaty and it would have been very interesting for him, and it was way away. And he seemed very taken with the idea of East Timor at the time. But then he said, but I couldn't do it. He said, I couldn't leave Ron. As far as he's concerned, he and Ron were one. It was a crude trap for an old villain like McVitie. Hart, Tony Barry, the Lambrianos could all have warned him. Even when they failed to, he should have smelled something a little odd about this sudden invitation, but he was probably too drunk. Barry brought the gun and drove off looking scared before becoming even more involved. Young Ronnie Hart returned. Ronnie posted him as a lookout in an upstairs window facing the street. Just before midnight, Hart saw a beaten-up Ford Zodiac draw up. 5 men got out. The Lambrianos, 2 brothers by the name of Mills, and finally a man in a hat, McVitie. Hart gave the alarm. McVitie burst in, ready for a party. Where's all the birds? All the booze, he shouted. Ronnie Kray was waiting for him, watching from the sofa. Reggie was behind the door.
Where's the birds and the booze? That's the first thing he said, and then he saw Ronnie. And Ronnie just looked up, and he went, hello, Ron. And then he just walked over and hit him underneath the eye with glass. They would have had a fucking enough of you, now fuck off. And walked back to the television, and all of a sudden Jack was going, what have I done, what have I done?
Reggie thrust the knife into his face below the eye. The butchering followed as McVitie sank to his knees. Reggie stabbed his stomach and his chest and finished by impaling him through the throat.
So I walk outside and Connie Whitehead says to me, what's the matter, Chris? I'm half cut as well. Connie, I didn't come down here for this.
If they'd have wanted to kill Jack the Out, they could have killed him 20 times over, you know. But when a fight happens, it just sort of gets out of hand. And as you say, you go to win. You know, I don't think they said, oh, we'll get Jack the Out down there because we're going to kill him. Because there was no plans to bury him or do anything or whatever, you know. I don't think it was premeditated. They said to send the Lambrianos, soppy nuts Lambriano, to go and get him. You know, it wasn't. I don't think there was any sort of plan to murder anybody. It's beat fuck out of him, yeah. You know, but then all of a sudden, like, things go over the top.
I go and get a bucket, plastic bucket, and a shovel, and there's all kind of livery stuff, congeal blood. Took it upstairs, go in the toilet, swill it away. Please God, don't let the children wake up, because if they come out they're going to find a body on the landing. Well, we got the body out and we try to put it in the boot, as you see in these films, and that didn't work, so we put the body on the back seat. Tony then gets in it, he drives away, we're following him. Quite frankly, I think they let us down. You know, if there's an honesty and a nobility, and I use that word in such as there's honour amongst thieves, you understand, then, you know, as the captains of the ship, they should have, when it was beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was no way that they could save themselves, was to try and save us.